Hello friends and welcome. I'm Sara Lihz and I have a fun light up shaker card for you today. It's great for all seasons, all times of the year, and we're using Twinkle lights, which are my very favorites. So let's go ahead and get started. I have a piece of heavyweight acetate, but really any medium to heavyweight acetate will work here. I like Grafix shrink film. I will link it below. It is just super crystal clear, heavy duty. It works beautifully for applications like this because this shaker is going to go all the way to the edge. So I need something with a little sturdiness to hold everything up. I'm going to stencil through this Beaming with Love stencil from Trinity stamps. It just has a whole bunch of hearts that sort of come out in a beam. And I wanted to create something a little bit shiny, but also with some color. So I'm using a Pearl Hero paste and I'm going to add my own color. I have some LIndy's Magicals. These are just pigment powders and then they have like some mica in them. The pearl powder is also shiny to start with. And I can just sort of mix that in and create my own colors. So if you don't have a lot of pastes, it might be worth considering getting like a white paste or a pearl paste or something like that that you can adapt. You can sometimes add re-inkers to them to color them, but they thin them out a little bit. And so you're more likely to end up with paste sort of oozing underneath your stencil. So I really like mica powders. LIndy's Magicals has tons of them. I have a coupon code for them, but really there's a lot of brands that have stuff like this. So take a look around, see what you can find. I'm just starting with my yellow and then I'm moving into sort of a peachy pink and then into, we'll call it light red. Is it pink? Is it red? Light red, right? In the end, most of that peachy pink is going to disappear. I don't love the neon feel of the yellow. And so I'm going to end up taking that darkest color and sort of mixing it into the other colors ever so slightly by using the flat side of my palette knife and kind of scraping back over them. And sometimes mixing some of those other colors fully in there as well. So I'm just coming in with like one more scrape of that peachy pink just to tone down the yellow. And then we'll do our big reveal. I love this. I let it dry overnight. It really didn't take that long. It is winter here, my friends, and the air is so dry, but maybe an hour. And then I have this great piece to work with. I have already colored and die cut out my little flashlight. This is from the Recharge stamp set from Trinity stamps. And I am just temporarily taping that onto my acetate. And then I'm masking off the actual like canister, I guess, that holds the light. I want to do a little bit of stenciling over top of that yellow. Originally, I was thinking I was going to line up that stencil with my sort of acetate panel so that it would look really continuous. But as I was looking at it, I didn't like it. I thought that the hearts that ended up on the yellow part of the flashlight didn't look very good. So I just moved it. All the same, I do like that it feels more continuous. We can sort of see our hearts coming out of the flashlight. You could have used paste here too, but I'm just going to do a very light application of gray. I'm using the shading Sidekick from Trinity stamps. The brushes are really, really fluffy, which makes it easy to put a very light application of ink down and not get little splotchy patches. Next, I'm going to line this up over top of an A2 panel just to get my spacing right. And I'm marking on my panel where the beam of light is. I'm maybe a quarter of an inch, half an inch away from it as I'm marking this. I thought originally I was going to ink blend underneath that. And in fact, I did. And then you'll see it here and there, but we're going to end up using a shimmer white panel instead. I'm also using an alcohol marker. You could use a Sharpie and just going around the acetate in the same spots, marking where I can trim away this acetate and where the edge of the card is, because I do need to trim that down a little bit. So I'm going to bring this into my trimmer and I'm following those lines. And I just want this to be a full A2. Remember, that stenciled acetate piece goes all the way out to the edge, and then we're wrapping another piece of acetate around that to enclose the shaker. It sounds like a lot, but I promise it's actually pretty simple. I got my flashlight lined up where I wanted it, and then I picked it up off my acetate using a sticky mat. It's like a silhouette mat kind of, but see-through. And it's great for picking up die cuts and setting them right back down exactly where you had them before. So now I can lay that onto my card front panel, and I will know exactly where I need to cut to create my shaker window. So I'm just kind of marking with my pencil where those black lines are on my acetate. You're not going to see the black lines when we're done. I want to cut just inside of that. Because the cardstock is pretty dark, I went ahead and grabbed my T-square ruler just to create a nice line for me to follow to make sure I get those right where I want them. And then I'll use my sliding blade trimmer to cut that section away. You certainly could use a craft knife and a ruler. I actually think that would work better for me. I don't know about you, but the blades on my trimmer, this style of trimmer, it doesn't matter which trimmer I use, they seem to go dull really, really quickly. But my craft knife doesn't have that same problem. So anyway, we're going to make it work. I am just double checking, making sure my flashlight is going to fit where I want it. And then I'll just use my scissors to trim the bottom of it because you're not going to see it. So it doesn't matter if it's not super tidy. I am adding some double-sided tape all over the back of my panel. We actually need 2 types of acetate. So I have my heavyweight acetate that has my stenciled image, and it's going to create some rigidity in that top corner where we don't have any cardstock at all. And then I'm also going to use some recycled packaging. For now, though, we'll just worry about this first set of layers. So I'm removing all of the release paper from the back of that panel, and it's going to fit perfectly on top of that acetate. I could have trimmed the acetate down smaller, but I'm not really interested in keeping tiny pieces of acetate anyway. And so this just really helps as a guide to make sure that everything gets lined up exactly where I want it. Next, I can adhere my flashlight. I'm just using some wet glue. It gives me a little bit of wiggle room, make sure I really like the placement of it. And once I get that pressed down, I can flip it over, and I'll just use my scissors to trim away any of that excess cardstock. Then here you can see the sort of ink blended panel I thought I was going to use originally, right? That was my big grand plan. But actually the colors behind there are a little too close to the stenciled colors, and I felt like we really lost that element. And so in the end, we'll swap that out. I need to add another layer of acetate to contain all of our sequins. So we're going to work on that next. I have flipped over my panel, and I am just adding double-sided tape in all the same places where we had it before, and then just a couple little pieces behind some of the larger hearts in our stencil. Then I have a piece of recycled packaging. I think this one was for like a 3D embossing folder, one of the really big ones. So I've got plenty of room to play with. And I'm going to flip this panel over and lay it right on top of that packaging. I've got some black cardstock back there just to make it a little easier to see where that plastic is. But I have just enough here that I'll be able to wrap it around the edges of another panel of my card. So this is a Twinkle light. This is my very favorite light from Pearblossom Press. You press the button and there are 3 different lights that twinkle on and off at random. And it just, I don't know, it twinkles. It makes me really happy. So I am grabbing a piece of acetate. This one is just a scrap piece of acetate, sort of scratched up. I can't really use it for other card making. So I laid it over top of my card. It's an A2 panel. And I'm using like a dry erase marker to put dots on here over top of hearts where I think I might want my lights to be. What I love about the dry erase marker is that if I put a dot where I don't want it, it's really easy to sort of erase that quickly with my finger and then move it. So I'm laying that A2 piece of acetate on top of some white glitter cardstock and just poking holes right through those dots that I made. And those are the holes for my lights. It was so simple. And I'll just save that piece of acetate. I'll erase the marker off of it. I can use that again. I don't have to throw that away. Then here, I'm going to flip this over. I sometimes accidentally put my battery pack on the wrong side of my card. So I flipped it over and immediately was like battery here. And then I'm going to go ahead and attach my lights. I stuck my little pokey tool, it's the pickup stick from Trinity Stamps, all the way through that panel to make sure there was room for the entire light. When you look at the ends of these lights, there is a little flat side that is yellow. That's the light. And so I want the hole to be just big enough that that light sort of pops into place, almost like a puzzle piece. And then I'll use some tape to hold that down. I happen to be using a low tack tape, but you wouldn't have to. I just had this on hand and couldn't find my Scotch tape, which is what I usually use. Once those are in place, I'm going to use some mint tape, like a Post-it tape, to hold my battery pack, and you'll notice it's upside down. Then I have a little more mint tape on top of that battery pack again, and I'll lay my entire card base on top of that. I have the fold at the top of the card. I need to get my placement. I want to be able to get to that battery so that I can replace it if it wears down. And you can see I'm also testing my lights, right? I pressed down on the button, made sure everything was lighting up. The placement looks good. And now I am going to gently trace right around that battery pack. I just did kind of the corners. I can bring that into my scoreboard and I will score a line connecting those two marks that I made. And then I'll bring in my scissors and just cut across from the top, and it creates a little flap. If your battery pack ends up somewhere else in your card, there is a stamp and die bundle. It's a little bitty guy from Pearblossom that will create like a little door hatch in the middle of your card panel. It's so great. It's made exactly for that purpose. You can always get to your little battery pack and your lights and make sure they're going to last a really long time. So now that I've got my kind of placement, I can tape down all of those wires really securely. And test my card one more time. I have all my layers sort of stacked up together. And now I'm going to add some foam tape. I am using 2mm foam here because my sequins are really flat. If you were using like a chunkier clay mix, you might want a 3mm foam. I'm going to go around everywhere that I have that dark teal cardstock, and I can go a little bit behind the flashlight as well, but I need to leave an opening where my beam is. And I want to keep in mind too, what's it going to look like from the front? I don't want to go all the way up to the edge of the flashlight because then none of those little shaker bits will end up behind the light. And I want them to feel like they're moving out from the flashlight. So I'm going to fill in my excess spaces and then remove all of that backer paper, and I'll just lay my glitter panel right down on top of it. And I've got everything lined up, but there's a big problem coming. Just wait. I'm going to realize it after I get this completely secured down. I flip it over. My next step is to secure that plastic packaging, and you can see my hands right there. And I'm like, uh-oh. I can't wrap that packaging around the edge if I have my battery pack already glued down. So I am working very carefully to pull that up, and then we're going to, in the end, put it right back down where it was. So to get all of that acetate secured down, I added double-sided adhesive tape all the way around the outside edge. And now I'm going to work in the areas that have cardstock around the edges first. Those are a little bit sturdier than the side that is just acetate. Plus, the acetate is like our pocket where we're putting all our shaker bits. And in the corners, I'm being careful to sort of gather the acetate so I can trim away any of that excess bulk. I'm keeping an eye on my wires and being careful not to clip any of them or they won't work. I thought originally I was going to use these new sparkle hearts, but in the end, they were too bright. I showed you that in the beginning because at least two of them ended up in there anyway. I think they got stuck initially. So there are two red hearts. And then I filled in the rest of it with polished blossom and polished pineapple flat sequins. These are so beautiful in person. They come in a rainbow of colors. They're bright, they're shiny, and very glossy too. And I just felt like they worked really well. And then as sort of a filler, because they're my favorites, I have the white sparkle spots. They're super, super flat, a little bit glittery. They pick up whatever colors that they're with. That also comes in a variety of colors, but I use the white more than anything else. Once I have those all in my flashlight beam, I can pull off the last side of double-sided adhesive tape and again, trim away the excess and double check that my shaker is working exactly how I want it to. Again, it's really important to remove that excess acetate or it's kind of difficult to get everything to lay flat in the end. I have double-sided adhesive tape on the back of my battery pack. I know exactly where it goes because this is now the second time we've taped that down. But I do need to leave room here for the battery pack when I add this onto the card base. So I'm using 3mm foam tape. If I had planned a little bit differently, I could have gotten the battery pack on the same layer of the card as the shaker stuff, so I wouldn't have needed a double layer of foam tape, but I didn't plan well enough. That's okay. Sometimes that happens. So I removed all of my release paper and I have stuck my card base into the corner of my MISTI because it's a right angle. And I know then if I just line up my front panel in the same spot, it will be lined up perfectly. The lights work, the shaker works. Now we just need a sentiment. So I'm using the Simply Sentimental Hugs. There is a die set and there is a stamp set. The die set has the word hugs in a bunch of different fonts, both the word and the shadow. And then the stamp set has all of the same hugs fonts, but you can stamp them and then cut them out with the shadow. And then it has a bunch of like sub-sentiments that you can put with it. And I want mine to say big squishy hugs. It's one of my favorite sentiments. And I know because they're separate words that I'm not always great at getting them lined up straight. So I stamped big 3 times and I got the squishy straight on the second try, which is fabulous. You could do it in your MISTI, but honestly, this works a little better for me for whatever reason when I'm trying to get 2 separate stamps to line up tidily. I did not put rip and stick sheet behind my hugs this time. So instead I put little dots of glue and I tapped it off. You could use scratch paper. I just have like a little silicone mat here. And then I will wiggle that into place. I cut out big squishy using Emergency Card Essentials die set number 1 that I designed for Trinity Stamps. It just has 2 separate 1/4-inch strips that you can use for cutting out sentiments like that one. And then I know that they're straight. Some people can do it with a trimmer. That is not one of my superpowers. So this works better for me. I also love that the word hugs just has that one ace under the H, right? The stick of the H, which means big squishy nestles beautifully right in there. It makes my font nerd heart happy. But my friends, we're about done here. The only thing I have left to do is to secure this little emergency hatch. I'm using removable tape right over where the battery is, so I'll press that closed. But here's our card. It shakes. You can see the shake a little better in person because there's a lot going on with our stenciling. But then you press on the S of hugs, and I'll leave my recipient a little note about that. And we get our twinkling lights. We open it up, and I've got room to stick my thumb in there and sort of push that battery out if I need to. That works best if you install that battery pack upside down. Not a big deal. And then there it is one more time. My friends, I hope that this inspires you. I hope you give something like this a try and that you've learned some techniques for how to get your lights situated, how to create light up shaker cards. Let me know what you're going to do with these techniques in the comments below. Thank you so much for spending your time with me, and I will see you next time.